I spoke about this when my son came home and told me, family, that in school they was having the girls dressed like boys and had the boys dressed like girls. And I talked about that in a video, but here's Willie D explaining the same situation what I was talking about, ladies and gentlemen, what goes on in these schools that they're not telling the parents. That's why it's for the parents to be very vigilant and ask your kids questions when they come home from school, ladies and gentlemen. Especially a lot of you men that's not in your kids' life out there, especially if they boys, you might want to get into their life. Because when they grow up and change over to the other side, you're going to be wondering what happened. So let's get into the story with Willie D, ladies and gentlemen. He talked about the same thing in these high schools, what they're doing. Let's go.
Allen is where girls dress like boys and boys dress like girls. They had the whole football team dressing like girls. Skirts, dresses. I'm sure some of them had thongs on, panties, bras, makeup, heels, earrings, wigs. And the girls dressing up like men. I'm sure a few of them had some jock straps on. The girls were dressed up like boys. I'm sure a few of them had jock straps on and boxers. Shouts out to C. Mickens for sending me the story. So, the question is, come on, fam. Why? 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 It is because there is an agenda to flip our children. That's right, I said it. There is an agenda. And they're working hard. Let me explain something to you, fam. Oftentimes, when you want to change people's convictions, you do it by way of jokes. Make them laugh. That throws them off their game because, laughter is harmless, right? People laugh and they don't take you as serious. You rock them to sleep. It's a good way to rock people to sleep. When you make them laugh, just make them laugh. Slide it right on in. Next thing you know, they're behaving exactly like you want them to. The second question I have is, where was the parents?
Mm-hmm.
The parents. Yeah, it starts at home.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, fam, there is no way I would have allowed my kids to do something like that, to participate in something like that. I don't give a damn about your jokes. I don't care how funny you think it is.
And that's why it's very important for y'all to be in y'all kids' lives. Don't ignore them when they talking to you. And some of the kids might come to you and be telling you, but you'll ignore the conversation when it's coming from the kids, y'all. Y'all most definitely got to get in these kids' life and ask questions what goes on behind these walls in school. Like Willie D was saying, they trying to flip the narrative and flip your kids. You see? That's why I had conversations with my young king every day when he come home from school. So he can enlighten me what's going on behind them walls. You understand what I'm saying? And I need all of y'all under the sound of my voice to be in your kids' life. Listen to their conversations. Talk to them about what's going on in school, y'all. And a lot of you fathers out there, get in your son's life before it's too late. Let's go.
They got an agenda. Now, if a kid want to be like that, fam, if a kid want to flip genders and cross-dress and all that kind of stuff when they get grown and gone, that's on them. You do your part, and then you hope that your kids take on those values as they go out into the world. And I'm going to tell you this, fam. A lot of times I hear people say, well, you know, you can't help who you are. You can't help what you are. And to a great extent, I do agree with that, because a lot of times stuff happens to people when they're young. And, you know, they can't help that happened to them. And they can't help that they were violated and those feelings followed them. They can't help that. These kids are innocent kids. And sometimes it's kids that take advantage of kids, but oftentimes it's adults. So I can't blame them for that. Just like I can't blame a parent who would not want their kid to participate in that type of lifestyle, because it is dangerous, because it is a painful lifestyle. No matter how they try to make it seem acceptable, it's just not something that I believe is ever going to be normalized in society. I don't think it's ever going to be normalized, because there are people that are raised with traditional values, and they do believe that a man is a man and a woman is a woman. A girl is a girl and a boy is a boy. It's as simple as that. Now, for the people that might get mad at the people who believe in that, how you going to get mad about their opinion, but you don't want them to get mad about your opinion? See how they work? Anyway, fam, yeah, I wouldn't allow it. I would not have allowed it at all.
Shout out to Willie D. Y'all going over there and sub to his channel, Willie D on YouTube. He be dropping some jewels. You know what I'm saying? Most definitely be dropping some jewels. But parents, that's under the sound of my voice, get into your kids' life and talk to them when they come home from school, so they can tell you what's going on behind them walls in them school districts. Because like I said, when my son came and told me that they wanted, well, they didn't want, it was people's opinion, if they wanted to dress like a girl and dress like boys. They wanted the boys to dress like girls and wanted the girls to dress like boys. But see, my son is already woke. His third eye been open, because I constantly drill it in his head. And when we in our four corners of our house, we got nothing but ancestors surrounding us to keep the demons away from us. And that's what y'all need to do. Y'all need to go out, find the blackest, and I don't mean ugly, picture and hang up in your wall, in your house, so it can remind you where you come from. Greatness, okay? Ancient Kemet, better known as Egypt to some of y'all. Dr. Francis Quest Welsing, Huey P. Newton, Assata Shakur, John Henry Clark, Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King, and the list goes on. Harriet Tubman, Marcus Garvey. Hang these pictures up in your home to remind you that you come from greatness, people. And with that being said, until the next time, stay in your kids' life and have conversations with them. Peace.